Today's daily devotional by Pastor Greg Laurie, True Seekers. In those days when you pray, I will listen. If you look for me wholeheartedly, you will find me. Jeremiah 29:12-13.
It is fascinating to note how Jesus dealt with people. He never interacted with any two individuals in precisely the same way. He would look beyond the outward veneer and see their hearts. When a person was really seeking and a miracle was in order, Jesus performed one. The Gospels record several miracles. He performed for hurting, searching people such as blind Bartimaeus, the woman whose child was sick, the woman who spent everything on doctors and needed a miracle, or the 10 lepers who came to him looking for his touch. But when people came to Jesus with the wrong motives, it was a different story. In fact, on some occasions, Jesus didn't even reveal himself to them. For example, John chapter 2, verse 23 tells us that when Jesus was in Jerusalem for the Passover, many believed in his name when they saw the signs which he did. But the passage goes on to say, "But Jesus did not commit himself to them, because he knew all men, and had no need that anyone should testify of man, for he knew what was in man." Verses 24-25. Here we see people who believed after they saw Jesus' miracles, but Jesus would not commit himself to them. That may seem strange at first glance, but let's consider what the word commit means. It means to entrust someone with something. Jesus would not entrust these people with his truth. If they were true seekers, Jesus would have revealed himself to them. These people who saw his miracles weren't seeking with their whole hearts. They were merely excited about the miracle Jesus had done on that particular day. They were wowed by the spectacle, not moved by the truth. Therefore, Jesus would not commit himself to them. There's an important takeaway from this story, not just for believers and seekers, but also for the leaders and wannabe leaders of our nation. Jesus will not commit himself to those who seek him with ulterior motives. His message can't be co-opted to fit a political narrative. Those who would use him for personal gain or political advantage will not experience a personal relationship with him. On the other hand, the Lord promises in Jeremiah chapter 29, verses 12-13, "In those days when you pray, I will listen. If you look for me wholeheartedly, you will find me." A wholehearted search for Jesus is an excellent description of a revival. We have the assurance from Scripture that the Lord will reward such a search. So to facilitate a much-needed revival in our country, believers must confront ulterior motives when we see them. We must share the simple and unadorned gospel. And we must pray for people's eyes to be open to the truth of Jesus. The restoration and refreshing that will heal our nation requires more than an appreciation of who Jesus is and what he's done. It requires a wholehearted commitment to him. As you go about your day, I encourage you to think about this question. What would a wholehearted commitment to Jesus look like in your life?